You're going to come up to instruments, and we're going to start by adding a guitar so we can see what the chords look like. Guitar is under plucked strings, and we're going to add guitar. And what we're going to do is we're going to now come through and add the notes of the chord. Remember, these are written on the whiteboard in the classroom for your reference. But a G chord consists of G, B, and a D. Now on the iPad you're going to have to play those on the keyboard, which means you have to strike all three notes at once. And that might be a headache if you're brand new to the keyboard, but I recommend just try it. Use the undo button if it's a mistake. Keep going back. Undo if you need to. Now since this G chord is going to last for beats 1 and 2, I can change the duration of this to a half note, and it makes it play underneath those two. Now for a C chord, I'm going to place a C, and I need it to be a quarter note, a C, an E, and a G. And now I'm on to my final one, which is a G again. So G, B, and D. It's not always the easiest program to deal with, but again, it's free, and after you learn it for a while, it doesn't frustrate you so much. But here's the cool part. Now you can play it. And then we're going to now take these guitar chords and extract them. We have 3 notes in each chord, so we can extract them into 3 instruments. So we're going to start with the lowest note of each chord, the G, the C, and the G. And we're going to put that into a low instrument, and I'm suggesting to you to use double bass. And it'll put the double bass on there. And notice that the double bass is in bass clef. Again, use the resources in the classroom to help you read that. We haven't spent time in class learning the bass clef, but you can use those. You can find this information anywhere on where to find the notes on the staff, but you just need a G, a C, and a G on there, like if those are the chords you're using. And now as I put it together, I'm saving. I can play back. And with a good sound system, you'll hear that double bass come through, and that'll be nice. And that's the bottom note of each chord. Now I'm going to put the middle note of each chord in. You just got to be careful and make sure you read that correctly. I'm suggesting you put that in on the violin. I'd not choose viola if I were you, because that's going to give you an alto clef, which is a clef we have not used in class or learned, but it's kind of cool. It's always fun to learn new things. I'll just show you what it looks like, by the way. This is an alto clef, so we're not going to do that. We're going to stick to this treble clef. Now I'm taking the middle note from the guitar chords, and I'm going to place that in the violin. And the first note is a B, and we're changing that to the same rhythm as the guitar because that'll make life easier on this assignment, I should say. And there we go. That's the middle note. That's the B, the E, and the B. Okay, the violin part doesn't have much work to do. But now I'll save. Very nice. And now we have one more instrument we need to add, and that's going to be for the top note that's played in there. And I suggested you used woodwind. You really are going to get the choice. If you want to use a brass instrument, that's fine. I was choosing woodwind because I like the sound of it, but it doesn't matter. But I'm going to choose woodwind because there's a very important part. Because of the various lengths and sizes of instruments, they're not always going to be reading from the same key. So a clarinet, for instance, is going to play B flat. Sorry, when it plays its C, it's going to sound like a piano's B flat. So this is because of the different sizes of the instruments and how they're keyed and how they're made. And it makes it easier for these instrumentalists to read through music if we change the key. Well, we're not going to worry about that because we don't have a clarinet in our classroom, but we do have to worry about making sure that all of them play in the same key. We're going to stick to C. So any instrument, even if it's tenor sax, which is B flat, and alto, which is E flat, needs to change key. Flute is automatically in C, so that's pretty easy. Oboe is in C, and so is bassoon. But I'm going to put a clarinet in. I just need to make sure it is playing in the key of C. I'll click OK, and then I'm taking the top note and putting it in here. The first note is a D, change it to a half note, and a G, change it to a quarter note, and then to a D, and there I have it. All of the notes of the chord are now represented by a total of 5 instruments. If I take out the guitar, all of the notes of the chords are played somewhere with the symphony, while the flute takes over the melody. So here's how the piece will sound. Okay? And what we're going to do in class is then print this and perform it. I'm going to get rid of this last measure because I don't need it. And close this. And there we have it. We're going to perform this and we're going to transfer it to various instruments. We don't have flute and double bass in the classroom, but we'll be using things like recorder, ukulele. For the double bass, maybe a bass xylophone or some boom whackers. And these other parts will be, you'll get to make the choices. That's going to be the cool part. You can keep the instruments within the same family, like all boom whackers, or you can split it up like I just suggested using various instruments in the room. But you and your partner are going to double up with another partner. You're going to put your 2 measures together for a total of 8 beats and play through it using the instruments that you choose. Okay? Now, that's what the final project is going to look like. So you're orchestrating, arranging music, you're performing it. It's a challenge. It's super cool at the same time. But the most important part, well, not the most important, but very important, is that you share this with me. So you are going to connect, and you're going to change that this score is not currently shared, and you're going to share it with everyone. And really, it's me who needs to see it. And you're going to save, and after you've saved, you're going to click this icon, which will have the link. So you're going to click on the link, copy it, and send it in an email to me. So I'm going to go to my email and create a new email and type in Mr. Crowther's email address, which is dcrowther@ris.ae. Subject, that doesn't matter. I'll call it music. But there's the link, and on its way. I hope you enjoy. Thanks.